Because, well, I like my amusement, but now Adrastia, now generally the way I go is I give someone a mulligan on things before I cover them. But at the point that I start covering them, we are accountable for our actions. And it's very interesting that she's not crying now, that she's trying to e-beg a different way. And reportedly, her typical is, I'll cry until old ladies give me money. So when more people get in here, we're going to go through some of her audio because she's trying to declare war on Adonis Paul. And as you notice, I clipped a little quick picture of Gollum because, she has all the morals of Gollum. She wants her precious, and her precious consists of money for nothing. Hello, let it go. Ice cream sounds good. Now, I ate light today, and I found out with my gallbladder gone, I can't do these cheap frozen pizzas no more. So, I'm eating light today, and I laid out a pound of hamburger to make chili tomorrow. Oh, hello, Great DeMarcles. But, I'm going to start talking about Adrastia a little bit because, once again, I have a hard life, but you don't see me going on and on and on asking people to change my life because, changes in life many times start from systemically from within. Right now my big issue is transportation. But I learned one thing, one problem at a time. If Drastia will list all of her problems. You just find one problem and you keep pecking at it until that problem goes away. Now and then a problem is unresolvable and then it has to be put on a back burner. And then you find a problem that you can handle and you peck away at it. And it's like myself, I now again have a way to the spring. I have all the unlimited spring water I will want. And, I knew at some point I would again. And, there's people that wish to attack me. But the fact of the matter is, right now, I'm drinking better water than everyone else. And it has 0 poisons in it that the government put in it. Hello, Ronnie. Now, Adrastia, like I say, when more people get in here, we're going to play her audio. But, it's basically got to be the same note. Now, once again, people in severe depression will act some way. So far, covering her up to what I have seen could have been covered by severe depression. But she's not acting severely depressed now. There was a phase she didn't before where she pretended she got her medicine, but she never did. She never bothered. I've people that have been here a while. I had a second cousin that a girl that knew him said, if breathing didn't come natural, the boy would die. And that's Adrastia. All she's got to do is, out there from what I gather, is fill out a little paperwork each month, probably saying she's looking for a job while she isn't, and she'll get a check. Hello, Rachel. But, now, and this is kind of why that was the cement of doing the live, because I know many of my live know the trials and tribulations of Christopher James Harrelson, also known as Rich Life of Road Trips, also known as Great American National Parks, also known as Chris Rolex, also known as Terminated on YouTube so many times we can't even count it now. But he had a fondness for lawing us all up. And in the end, he got lawed up and he managed to escape. Now, Adrastia wants money for a lawyer to law Adonis Paul all up for defaming her. This is just her. And she says, I'm not touching any of the money, and it's all going for a lawyer. She really thinks she's, no, get this though, she's not really getting money for a lawyer. I mean, she just wants to get some weed money. Because I have now sat down long enough, and she basically walks the street looking for empty vape cartridges and little bits of weed. I mean, so obviously she can work. She just, once again, like Christopher James Harrelson, wants a free ride. And tomorrow, she promised us that she's going to basically have a live stream-a-thon to gather up money to law all up Adonis Paul. And also, she wants him banned from YouTube. Like, they can, like, somehow she can go to court and magically have that done because, Junkie Tramp says so. Now, for those that don't know, Adrasdea is in her mid-30s. That's past, the youthful irresponsibility phase. I bought 20 acres and a trailer in 1996 when I was 28. But, this wacky new generation, like Letitia, believes they deserve compensation. Now, later on, towards, after we basically get our Adrastia out of us, the rest of the live will be about Letitia, but because I was going to start with so much Adrastia content and play some audio, I wasn't going to title that. So, for the second half of this, we will talk about Letitia. And the reason why we're not talking about her first is because Miss Titty Kitty, she's got her channel struck. She got her struck one! And I expected that when she decided that she was going to bear all for clicks. And mostly, that is basically the second half of this program. Except most of it, I am going to be making funny out of it. And laughing at her and mocking her righteously. But, we're on more on serious. And since Adrastia has her live tomorrow to raise money to take on the quote evil Adonis Paul that now see, these are just people, but supposedly it's all Adonis Paul's fault. And excuse me, and she says, I don't want his money. What does she think a civil action is? You want their money. It's like Mindside at this point. If I can get a lawyer to take the case with certain rulings done that governors didn't have the right to do what they do, hell yeah, I want their money. I want every bit of it. I want them to have to scrounge for cat food. I don't have to come for me and beg for Fluffy. And I'll feed Fluffy, unlike them not helping me. Well, you have to work at it. You have to do things. I have a considerable amount of scrap here now. I'll collect old appliances and rip them apart for the metal. You'd be surprised that if you save enough appliances, and rip them down for their metal and burn them for the non-useful parts, I mean, you can pretty much recycle about anything. No, she won't, Rachel, because you see, this is a long-term grift. She's a long-term grifter. Like I said earlier in the live, when I'm covering someone, I kind of give them a mulligan up to the point that I cover them, and I start looking heavily at patterns of behavior. Now, an empirical fact we will talk about, and Adrastia was an accessory to murder. I mean, fact, once again, past things that are in hard fact, Adrastia was an accessory to murder, turned state evidence to get the guy on murder one, and she skated. And I've seen enough receipts to say that she instigated the crime. But once again, the system always wants the person that did it, number one. So they basically let the mastermind of the murder go. And to where, I never, in my criminal career, they fight back. It's not just weak versus weak. It's not evil, it's battle. Now, Adrastia, on the other hand, this woman was special needs. And there is surveillance video of Adrastia buying the shovel she was buried with. And the cops had that on video. And Adrastia claims she was forced into this when Adrastia seemed to be pretty happy with the shovel. And Adrastia also, there's receipts on a phone of Adrastia basically browbeating this guy into doing it. And the victim was his girlfriend. So this sterling individual was sleeping with Adrastia and the special needs girl. And Adrastia basically badgered him into murdering the special needs girl and bought the shovel, then turned state's evidence on Loverboy to get out of it. And those are empirical facts. Those don't change. So, and the thing is people can do evil and then learn and grow and do better. That's one thing that our system's about, is paying our dues. She didn't pay no due, though. She basically sold out the guy being the mastermind because, oh, cry, 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 evil man. Blake's, hers is an act. Because I used to know YouTube schizophrenic, and we've had long talks about conditions. And I've talked to Cruiser McHenry, and where in reality, Letitia is a very good candidate for being schizophrenic. Adrastia, no. Now, borderline personality disorder, in my opinion, once again, this is a pure opinion part. In my personal opinion, she has borderline. Now, also, Adrastia was an adult living in a trailer on her grandmother's place, and then when her grandmother died, she said, I have no one to take care of me. I mean, at 18 years old, my parents didn't have that any more responsibility. That was up to me. But not Adrastia. She didn't have her grandma to take care of her anymore. So her entire life has been nothing but a cry machine. But now today, no. She stopped crying. Now she's shown the selective ability to cry. When she wants money, she can stop crying. And when she wants money, hello, social worker. And when she wants money, she can stop crying. That shows she is in control of her emotions. That shows a level of manipulation. You know, she now like with the schizophrenic. Let me think offhand. You've seen Letitia Manic. There's none of it there. Now you see anxiety in Adrastia. Kelly, that's what we're wondering. That's kind of why we're doing this right now, is because she just, on her channel, I linked it on the Tartanomicon channel. That way she wouldn't see that I linked it. Now, the only way she'll see this is if she looks up her name, and we will know that if that's the case. But tomorrow is A-Day, where she's going to try to take on Adonis Paul, and I'm going to be there to enjoy it because I really don't have anything much to do tomorrow. So I'm going to be waiting with bated breath for my amusement. And I'm sure Adonis Paul will need one of Letitia's diapers because he's going to laugh so hard he's going to piss all over himself. In my opinion. Now, see, the thing is, you have to enjoy your YouTube. So right now I want to soak it in for a moment and feel the moment. And we'll get to her audio here in just a moment. But also I want to like slip over here and kind of taunt Adrastia at the same time. Oh God, Adrastia is that was good. I mean and with that, and that head rush, Adrastia is jealous of my life. Well, actually, it was my distance kin, I believe, and as far as I'm concerned, they can kill each other. Uh-oh. Oh, my YouTube hit it. For a moment, I thought she hit her channel again. It had just, I guess YouTube had decided that Mary has little worth. Yes, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Starting tomorrow, live streams, not just one, live streams to raise fund to end this nightmare. And what's worse is the nightmare for me continues because, I mean, her title is still on, so, let's turn her down and go back. Oh, yes, damn it, I mean, man. I didn't notice something funny here. Her title, it says, starting tomorrow, live streams to raise fund to end this nightmare, period. I'm done with the harassment. I mean, she actually tried to title it 4 more letters than it could possibly go. Money for a civil defamation lawsuit, or it's never going to end. They can anger their fans to the point that they will come and harass me, but they can't. Now, the thing is Adonis Paul isn't telling his fans to do anything. Now that she's doing this, she has painted big giant YouTube troll target on her forehead. And that's why we're here, because once again, her live streams to raise money to attack Adonis Paul should be funny. And once again, if she gets $1, she's going to steal it for weed. Calm them down to the point that they will leave me alone. They can't convince them that they lied, that they shouldn't be harassing me, that they should just leave me. Now, she wants Adonis Paul to tell everyone to leave her alone. I mean, it'd be like me going to the point, leave everyone alone. The answer is, bah! Because it's over. I told y'all, use my videos if you want. Just leave me alone. Just don't come to my comments talking to me about it. That's all I want. All I want is for his fans to not bother me. Okay. Now, let's stop here for a moment. She wants his fans to stop bothering her. I mean, I don't control you people. I mean, you can do what you want. Now, once again, I am pointing out this for a source of amusement. I am not telling you to go harass her at all. I am telling you that this is funny as shit and you're going to enjoy laughing at it. That is not harassment. That is pointing out truth and comedy.
Somebody's in my comments saying, he's live, he's live, he's live.
He was.
I don't want to know.
I was there.
They know I don't want to know. They're intentionally antagonizing and harassing me to try to get me to break down.
And he was too. And he found Shannon and she was live and she was restreaming her now and then and making fun of her, and I got some good laughs out of it. You know, Shannon likes to attack smaller channels. So now there's a channel that's more than twice as large as hers, and they'll talk about her. And Shannon and his demographic tends to be younger. You know, my demographics, most of us are over 40. Most of his fans are not over 40.
So that I'll cry and they can use that footage, and I'm not going to. What I am going to do is start continuously
Now, you heard her. I'm not gonna cry. See, she accidentally gives away a tell there to show me that this has all been a scam all along. Once again, I give people a mulligan up to the time I start covering them. Now, once again, she has shown enough signs of deception to where, in my personal opinion, I see borderline personality disorder and a whole bunch of fucking lazy.
I'm going to document all of them. I'm just going to screenshot them to save them so that if and when this ever goes to court, I can prove that these people have been sending...
She said, if and when this goes to court, which of course it's not, because whatever fool is going to send you $1, you're going to steal.
People to harass me, regardless of whether they're sending them. The defamation that they have put out about me causes them to never be able to let me rest.
Now, once again, you have to show how you're harmed in the defamation. She's not lost a job, and she's not lost housing, and she's not lost a dime because, she did solicit murder. She was an accomplice to it, and the state let her skate because they wanted to get the man on murder one. That is not bullying. That is a fact. You are human scum, Adrastia. You are a murderer. I, on the other hand, am a killer. You are a murderer.
And it's obviously until there is a lawsuit and they have to acknowledge that they made defamating statements that damaged my life.
Okay, once again. Damaged my life! How did it damage her life? And, of course, we know it didn't. Because you have no life.
And it's never going to stop. I need help. Genuinely, I need legal help.
Now, before all the time she says need help, it was always, I need money. And now, of course, this does all come back down to money again. But she needs legal help. You know why? Because that's big dollar.
I don't want to take his channel away, but if that's the only way to stop him from sending...
Now, this is another reason for this. She is now, as I understand it in the Boit, them is fighting words. So, once again, we're going to have a YouTube boxing match going with, Madam Murderess, the Black Widow, Well, no, you're killing the other one's girlfriend, but I mean, what else can you say other than, we have the scummy murderers trying to blackmail Adonis Paul.
People to hurt me with his lies. What am I supposed to do?
Saw the receipts on the court shit, or I would not go murderer. Murderous, but, to make it comedy, we're going to go with murderer.
Just continue being attacked and harassed because he wants to lie about me and he has more fans than I do?
No lie.
No.
If it's true. And then she said no, and then she cut it off. And then let me see how long ago. About a half an hour ago, help an abuse victim become a survivor. Stop victimizing. And let me see, start this back over. Okay, help an abuse victim become an abuse survivor. Stop victimizing already broken people. Squeeze me. You're coming to YouTube, a video sharing platform. And under fair use, we are allowed to critique what you bring to the YouTubes. Sorry. Nope. You brought yourself here. Someone can put this up and pause me out and criticize me all they want.
They do to you, back onto you, and claim that, well, you did that.
You did that.
I'm being harassed daily by his fans. They claim if I don't...
Okay, now for the people new here, I live near Amberlin Reed. My first channel, I got over 1,000 subscribers in 90 days because I talked about the fat chick. Now, Amberlin Reed right now, her channel is 200,000 subscribers. Now, for over 2 years, I had, every morning I woke up, just hate. I mean, these people called the police on me thousands of times. The police down here don't fall for that, for one. But, like I say, and when I say thousands of times, I'm sure it was at least 1,000. Probably thousands. Because, as I said, her entire little hate mob, and every morning my comments, and they delete them too. That's how I knew it was an organized thing. You creepy stalker, you're going to jail. You're a blah, 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 and all that. Every morning I got up for about 2 fucking years. I didn't make videos about it. I just, whatever. And then, there's a little pause in it. And then she started again after I busted her in something. And then I finally sent one back to her Team Amber Lynn account, which was her favorite one to harass me with. And I stated the fact of, I will set you up, bitch. And I meant it. And then she moved off to Lexington as fast as her fat ass would go. So, I listened to that over 2 years. And finally, yes, I was going to plant something into her vehicle, and then they were magically going to find it, and then she was going to go away. And she took my warning, and she left. I didn't bring it to YouTube. But what I do, where I say it now is, I do admit my fuckery. But, over 2 years of that, I hit the point where I was not going to take it anymore. Because I have a limit, I am the picture of tolerance. But when things hit a certain level, I'm going to grab the baseball and throw at their head proverbially. But, that is, let me get, now, for some reason, they don't want to let everyone's messages through. I had to go back, but, once again, Adrastia is this new snowflake generation where, Letitia thinks she should be compensated. But we're dealing with hard facts in Adrastia. She has proved to be a monster. Now, she got away with murder. If she could find a guy, it would probably happen again. Once again, because she kind of picked someone, basically a wannabe player, and he didn't look to be the sharpest knife in the drawer either. And he seemed to be of an ethnicity, but we won't go in that because it doesn't matter. But he did seem to have a look about him that he himself may have been special needs. I can't say. Oh yes, he committed the crime and is doing the time. And from what looks like on text that Adonis Paul showed, that she badgered him into it. She bought the shovel. You know, where I come from, the person that buys the shovel usually goes to jail because they're showing a premeditated part in the murder. Not Adrastia. She just cried, said, he made me do it. And then once again on the receipts, it didn't look like he made her do it. It looks like she pushed him into doing it. She was the instigator of the murder. And receipts show that. It's just the prosecutor wanted the man on murder one. When in reality, the man should have got murder two, and Adrastia should have got murder one. But they wanted a witness. So, once again, Adrastia was basically instigated the murder and then sells out her accomplice and gets away with the murder. So, that basically wraps up Adrastia and kind of give you the preparation for the festivities of her live streams to raise money to attack Adonis Paul. Well, Rachel, when my ex-girlfriend, when she had come down here when we were still in a relationship, we went up to the Torrid in Lexington, and I mean, it's like, we just went in it for fun. I'm like, it was garbage. Garbage quality, garbage selection. Everything in it looked like it sucked. The clothing itself reminded me like something you might have made for a bad costume. Like if you were going to make a dress into like a bumblebee. Like I said, it did. It had all of a bad costume quality to me. But that's probably what, certain things like Amberlynn like. But, this is basically setting up Adrastia for her future. Now, we do got some more audio, and then after that, we'll go into Letitia. I'm thankful for the algorithm to burying her a little bit on me, but now get my volume back up. Now look at her face, look at her eyes. That she's got that look of, did what I say just fly? This I can tell from her body language is one of the most deceitful, crappy human beings that has ever lived.
I'm not the one harassing anyone or lying about anyone or sending my fans.
Okay, no. Once again, she's lying about Adonis Paul.
To harass anybody. I've blocked him 10 times. He's blocked me never.
And there are tons of people that go around with cloned accounts of me that go in chats and will say horrible, horrible things. And I only go into like 2 or 3 chats. I mean, once again, welcome to YouTube. Now, we enter this part of this program to where I taunt Adrastia a second time. There we go.
attacked daily for his lies about me. He is fully supported in every aspect. He's made full documentary films defaming me.
With receipts.
I stood my ground about my truth on my channel.
My truth. There's only one truth. But you see, once again, the snowflake generation, my truth.
I am not the aggressor, but I will
She's the passive aggressor.
not allow my life to be twisted further into a nightmare by predatory abusers on this platform who should not have a platform.
Now, shouldn't she be standing up and getting her, landlord to fix the water? She says they won't let them in the apartment. Where it's real simple, you walk up to the apartment door, you kick the fucking door in, and you go, dude, your door's open. I love that one. I mean, they don't know what to do.
If their only objective goal in life is to defame innocent victims.
Now, defame innocent victims. This is a reoccurring theme with her. Now, once again, with what we went through that I can back up, where's this innocent victim at?
And continue victimizing them. I would like one day to be able to say that I am an abuse survivor.
No, she wouldn't, because she would be responsible.
But at the moment, I'm still an abuse victim.
I'm a victim.
I don't know how hard I have to fight.
Now, once again, look at the look on her face. No tears. She can control those. She thinks of dead granny and dead puppies, when she wants to grift you. But, look at that. That's that shifty look of, are they buying my line of bullshit?
To be able to put it behind me and be a survivor and no longer be harassed by people who don't believe me.
Now, once again, you see, Adonis Paul focused on this anti-bullying channel. So you see, Adrastia has seen this because she watches everything on Adonis Paul. So what she's doing now is she's trying to grift these channels into flowing her money. Because Adonis Paul jokingly said her name to them. So Adrastia is seeing this too. She's looking for a new mark. This is showing another level of premeditation, like the murder.
When I told the truth. Because
her truth.
This man who has more followers than you.
You have more than me.
He lived with you, so he knows your dad wasn't abusive. Right? He must. He must.
And Adrastia will watch this when she sees her name. One day. Maybe today. Maybe now.
A miserable person and decided to make her life more miserable for his own financial gain. That's not possible. He must.
No one on the internet affects my day-to-day happiness. Never has, never will. But, once again, Adrastia is just here to grift.
Been there and he's trying to defend something that he knows for a fact, but he doesn't know anything.
Yeah, he does.
He knows nothing except that he makes.
Now, he taunts her with his super chats. And, there's times over the stream that he'll make $100 or $125. And, he's around a 10,000 subscriber channel. And I don't begrudge other YouTubers doing their things. And, if I wanted to make real money, I'd sell drugs. But, because see, I know what real YouTubers make. And if you're not an Amberlyn Reed style YouTuber, it's pennies. The best thing to do is entertain people and just ask for a tip. And it's not much, and it shouldn't be much. It's just supposed to be a little help along. But not Adrastia, this is, I'm so traumatized. Gimme. That's basically Adrastia.
Money hurting me. And my only option to stop it is a lawsuit. And let me be clear that I don't want money because people are going to say, well, if you...
Okay, now see, once again, lawsuit and she doesn't want money. Well, that's all that a lawsuit is money, you blankety, but I forgot we're not at 18 plus. Now, if we weren't at 18 plus, I would have been a little more descriptive on some of the things. Like, the woman's eye popped out. Yes, she was choked so much the eye went poop out of her skull. And once again, Adrastia mastermind this heinous crime to a disabled woman.
You're just trying to ruin his life. You're just trying to get money.
So she could have Mr. Man all to herself.
Get a job instead. I don't want to ruin his life. I don't want to take his channel down. I don't.
Yes, she does. Look at her look at it. Look at that lie face. As soon as she said that, I mean, I've seen that face so many times of, give me some weed now and I'll get you back Tuesday. And, they have that look just like that. And the answer is no. And then they try to go again and then you go, no. And then they try again and you go, no. And then they try again, and then you say, what part of fucking no don't you understand? Hello, Adonis. Yeah, we're having a fun with Adrastia because she's, if you haven't watched, which I'm sure you have, she's coming after you tomorrow. Yes, and I'm here to make fun of it, kind of promoting it all because, she wants to start having live streams so she can law you all up. And we went with Rich Life saying that he was going to law us up forever. So, this is old familiar territory. And once again, I want to see these Adrasdea live streams on trying to get the money to sue you because she wants to sue you, but she doesn't want your money, which... And I also stated earlier that you're going to have damn fun with this because, I mean... And she also has this idea that you're going to get banned from the internet to pointing out that she's a murdering CXNT. And that it was a less than honorable act all around. And she was buying the shovel. And it was the first time that I ever heard of someone buying the shovel and they didn't go down for murder one. But we will get on to, more of Miss Lie Face right here. I knew another YouTuber named Shivy Pop, and she was an expert at body language. I was okay at it. But after hanging out for about a year and a half with her on YouTube, I've gotten really good at it.
His money. He could get a job.
He's got a job.
Support himself by harassing abuse victims. But
we know that she watches everything. Adrastia, you're his fun money. When he wants that extra pizza, I was like, you know what? This bowl's on Adrastia. Yeah. I kind of like that idea. I think my next live I do about her, I'm going to put up my P.O. box. and I'm going to tell them right at the front, this is not needed. If you send anything, it's just for me to taunt Adrastia. Yes, I think I will do that. Because, in reality, no one's going to send a dime. Just saying. But See, it's like Shannon always say, my channel in donations, I have made $165 this year. I keep a running tab. And Shannon keeps saying I'm lying, and that's what I've gotten donations in my hand so far this year. Now, I'm sure there's something in the P.O. box waiting on me, but, in my hand so far for, the first half of the year, $165 on the Roger front for, just throwing a penny in the pan. I hate this iPhone because it just completely went off what we were holding. It'll just completely dump out of YouTube every now and then. I'm glad my ex-girlfriend bought the iPhone because it's a piece of crap.
That would be asking the abuser to stop being abusive. And that's not allowed.
Let me see. There's a certain girl that would really like to have had every day of her life back. Yes, and she wants to talk about abusers.
Because we live in a society where if somebody is abusing you, you have to leave. You have to change every single aspect of your entire existence. And
well, it's like I have complex PTSD. If I am in a dangerous situation, legally, I really need to eject myself from this situation, even if I want to wipe the floor with him. But, legally, I'm bound to attempt to exit. Now, if someone's threatening my life, I can stand my ground. But, once again, then, if they keep barring me from this exit, and I was to have a PTSD moment, and they were to go throwing off something high at a velocity, I could likely get leniency. And the reason why I say that is because of Letitia. How she always thinks that she's just going to skate. With my complex PTSD, there's things I might skate with, and there's things I might not. But, one thing about law is you have to show that extra effort that I wasn't the aggressor. These people like Adrastia doesn't, and Letitia the missing.
If the abuser follows you, you'll have to do it again. And if he follows you again, you'll have to do it again. At what point does the victim get a voice and get to say,
That's a good question, Adrastia. When does the victim get a voice? Now, arguably, let me put on my intellectual hat for a moment. Could Adonis Paul not be the voice of this poor departed woman? That's what I think, And you're being held accountable for your actions, In the old-fashioned days, society always holds you accountable for your actions. Despite what the law says, society does get a vote.
I don't want this man near me. I don't want him talking about me. I don't want his friends coming to me.
I don't want him talking about me. Bullseye. That's what it all comes down to.
To let me know how he's doing or what he's doing. If he fucking drops dead tomorrow, I don't want anybody telling me. I don't need to know. I don't want to know. I do not care.
She's lying again. Okay, now let's look at this. Oh, look! Lie face again! You remember what we just covered a moment ago? There we go with lie face.
About this man who has destroyed my life with his lies.
No, these were court documents. I mean, once again, I'm pretty meticulous. I don't go murder, unless I can prove it. I can prove it that. I've seen enough receipts to where, yeah. You really wouldn't have liked me on the jury. No, you wouldn't have. Because I wouldn't have convicted the other guy of murder 1. I would have convicted him of murder 2. Yes, I would have. I would have convicted him on murder too. But from the evidence I've seen, Adrasdea needed to go be the one that went down for murder one.
I have begged and pleaded to be left alone. I've made deals with you. I told you you could use my videos. Say what the fuck.
And she made a deal with him. And she didn't obey it. She went back on it first. And now, of course, rewriting history. Once again, being new and the fact that nothing gets past me. Once again, she's fabricating. Oh shit, look at her face too. I mean, this has moved. Look at her face. We got lie face again. Don't drink every time she has lie face. I like you guys.
You won't. Just leave me alone. Just don't come to my comments with it.
I went to her comments, by the way.
They can't control themselves. They're in
I expect I'm blocked.
Bent on hurting somebody who they have.
Hell bent on hurting someone now. Rich life of road trips may get a disjointed part of his body at some point. If he was to be within, where he could catch an airborne case of blunt force trauma. You gotta really watch about those airborne cases of blunt force trauma. They don't have an injection for those yet.
And they can't control themselves. They're an unruly mob bent on hurting.
Okay, now my friends. I don't have fans. I actually do have a fan. It's over here. It pushes air. But yes, you're an unruly mob bent on her destruction. Well, I believe in be careful what you wish for, because you're now going to try to attack your creator. You've already said you want him off of YouTube, and there's like 10,000 to 1. And she is not Sparta. Just saying.
Somebody who they have been told and convinced deserves to hurt. And you believe that you'll win if this goes to trial.
Yep. Win like an NFL team playing the Bengals in the Super Bowl. I'm from Cincinnati originally, by the way. I grew up there. We expect that.
I don't want your money. If I take this to court, any money I get will go straight to the lawyers. I'm suing to have your channel.
Any money I get will go straight to the lawyers, to someone that never pays her bills. All the money will go straight to the lawyers. All the money will go straight to the weed shop.
About my life. And you could stop that. You could literally put it all behind all of us by just making.
Yes, for 65 cents a day, you can support a murdering lazy junkie. The last part is in my opinion. Yes, for 65 cents a day, you can support Adrastia and her ability to cry to, get more money so she can smoke more weed to make more complaining.
A video and telling your fans, look, I'm not a real person. I'm doing all of this as it's funny to me because I'm a piece of shit that thinks it's funny to make fun of people who are hurting. Please don't bother to.
Face again. Looky. It's a wookie. Yes, we have live face again.
Woman, please don't harass this woman. Please leave her alone. You won't do that. And if you did do that, your fans wouldn't listen to you because you've already.
My fan is behind here. It blows air.
That you can no longer control. And if you have enough power and enough people to
Okay, now Adonis is Palpatine. Unlimited power! you know, when you start hitting, the 1,000 to 10 to 15,000 in YouTube, it's still in who gives a shit territory. I mean, we're still down on the pond. That's what the silver button is for. That means at that point YouTube cares about you. But all of us on this low 100,000, we're nothing more than YouTube animals to them.
A mob angry enough to attack an innocent victim.
Now here we go with her innocent victim routine.
You don't have enough power to stop them?
No, I mean, I don't think Adonis and Paul and myself together could stop them at this point. It's like when I went to the Gwar concert, This Toilet Earth. Gwar was their opening band, and they were calling themselves the X-Cops. And they must have done this joke in other places and got an awe, but I was in Bogarts in Cincinnati, and a member of Gwar came out in his cop uniform and said that the concert was canceled. And I immediately did this because I knew the projectiles were coming. And sure enough, it was like a medieval battle, and beers were like, the projectiles coming from the catapults over your head. Like, fire! That's what, if I would have thought about it, I would have screamed, fire! Except I was more worried about a beer bottle hitting me in the back of the head. So, that was my first reaction, because I knew at that point the riot was going to stop. You can aim the people, but you cannot control the people. And once again, she wants to give Adonis Paul this magical power. And as I said, that member of Gwar really fucked up at that moment, and I'm sure that everyone back behind the screen was laughing at him. And my thought was, so this is how the riot begins. And fortunately, another member of the band came out and calmed it all down. Once again, I knew this was Gwar all the time. I knew it was a joke going out, but most of the crowd didn't, because they didn't know who the X-Cops were. And I mean, and I bet you that he never ever did that again. But once again, Adrastia wants to give us these magical powers as YouTubers. And I'm still remembering that night and laughing. Okay, well, apparently we got to the end of the Adrastia video. She's going to have to learn to exit. I mean, seriously. I mean, she wants your money, but she won't put any effort in YouTube. I mean, you at least, now, very rarely in the iPhone on a long vid, it'll cut out and I won't get to put an ending in. And I won't have the space to, keep making videos over again. So there might not be an ending, but, it's 1 out of 1,000. Gwar is a band. Yes, it is. And if you listen to Adonis Paul long enough, I'm sure he'll get some gore out on you. And now that we're basically at this point, we're going to wrap up Adrastia talk. And now we're going to start getting into a little Letitia talk, because, she struck. And because now, see, this is a good segue, because there are certain Gwar songs that Letitia makes me think of, and one of them is called Womb with a View, because Gwar can sing the most horrible things to the most catchy of tunes. Hello, Sophie. Hello, Joseph. But they're saying Adrastia's been special. Now, Letitia's going to get herself kicked off. She's got 1 strike down. That means her next one is 2 weeks. And then third one yeeted. And I got a feeling if she does the nudity again, they might just yeet her. Now, of course, she'll come back on another channel after her mad. And in reality, everyone, Joseph especially, since she has a weak ding, I bet she's going to make another channel. It's just we ain't going to be able to find it. because it's going to be so far down in the algorithm. And Joseph, I know you're deeper. I am deep as fuck in the algorithm, and I know you're deeper than me. So, yes, I expect, in my opinion, that Letitia has another channel. Because obviously, her pretend mom comments was her. Looking down at the syntax and going through it, yeah, that was her. So I do expect that she'll have another YouTube account somewhere, and I think she will be uploading on it during her absence. It's an opinion, though. But, Joseph is so far in the algorithm that, he might find it if I don't. Now, I have looked. A couple hours before this live, I sat and listened to a audiobook, and I took another phone, and I flipped through and I tried to find it. I could not find it. But, there's only one person that I know that's deeper in the algorithm than I am, and that's Joseph. So, if Joseph can't find it, no one can. But I don't know of certain keywords she might have named something. So, I might not have put in the right thing. But, in reality, for Letitia, the chat is good for her. You notice she's become less murderous. Now, I did want her to engage in the chat for another reason. Because we are now starting to see the Letitia that the boys see. Now, it's like her little nudie streams. That's the kind of shit she was pulling with the guys. Rolling on over her belly and doing this and got bat, 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 bat. And then cuddle up right, up against them. In my opinion, this is opinion, I think she tries to make situations that she can claim assault for blackmail. That is a personal opinion. And, we'll see how this plays out over time. So, that is what I think, because once again, we're seeing, because now, when she's talking to us in chat now, that is how she acts towards her Johns, her Marks, because everyone in the world is Letitia's Mark. Those people out in the world, we're seeing that side of her. Before you just saw the three ego states going off by themselves, doing their own thing, running their mouth. By her interacting with chat, we're seeing the manipulative whole package. So over time, we will see her tricks. We will see what she does. And then we can apply this to situations that we know about. And we will gain much further insight. That's why I took a sock account one time on one of her streams recently, but when she wasn't engaging, and drew her into a conversation. Hello, the herd turd. I ain't calling any of my subscribers a turd. But I don't like Amber, because, the whole PTSD and covering Amberlynn Reed. Oh, but, it's funny as it is, and, it's a nice Sunday night here, and, we'll have a week without Letitia, and my God, can you imagine how mad she is about YouTube? I mean, now, see, she is a narcissist. So, another thing that she is doing right now is looking for people talking about, where is Letitia? And that's another reason why I didn't put Letitia in this live. Because I want her to click that up and see a desert. I want her to hear crickets. I want the algorithm to say, who the hell is Letitia? But, it kind of, it amuses me. And once again, it's wonderful that Adrastia has done this. Because, the week without Letitia, I kind of needed something to amuse you guys with anyway. And now that she's declaring Adonis Paul public enemy number one. Now, thinking about it, on my comedy channel, Grimgoth the Dark Elf, I'm going to make comedy out of that. Yeah, I am. Yes, my Grimgoth the Dark Elf channel, I'm going to make some comedy out of this. And you will see some comedy bits on that channel about all of this. And I'm in the middle of writing them in my head right now, as we speak. So, excuse me, you'll have some Adonis Paul and Adrastia bits, and it will be related to their war. Because, one of my characters is a supervillain. So, and she is basically now casting Adonis Paul as a supervillain. So, I'm going to make some humor treating Adonis Paul as a supervillain. And, Adrastia is the superhero. And I think I can make some good humor out of it. So, that will be something you'll have to look forward to. And I have a ton of Grimgoth bits wrote. Because really, to do Grimgoth properly, he requires a beard. And that's why I've let my beard grow out. And it's at a good length. And this is an incentive for me. Because as soon as I'm done with all of the Grimgoth bits I wrote, I get to shave. Oh, and this has itched so much in the last 2 days. Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to getting those Grimgoth bits over with so I can knock some hair off my face. So you're going to see a lot of silly bits with Grimgoth. And in the last couple days, I've been on my gaming channel. That channel's nothing, but it's a labor of love. And it documents, my system. And it's a fun war game for people that like war games. Once again, I do some other channels that don't have any relation to any drama. Now, the Grimgoth channel does the comedy on it, and then there's the Verily Veronica channel, and there's this one. And I even have a kitty channel that I just upload my kitty shit on now. Because, in reality, my subscribers before asked everything to be on the same channel, but I really don't think it worked well. So now I basically set it out. Now, I'm still going to do some comedy here. But, used to be I do comedy every couple days. And this way, I'm on the Grimgoth channel, I am going to do serious work on it. So, the last few days I've been kind of doing stuff around here. But I do plan on getting this channel and the Grimgoth the Dark Elf one with daily uploads. So, it's 9 o'clock now and there should be some other YouTubers coming on. So I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to put myself a cold drink in the refrigerator. And I am going to start my Grimgoth bits. And what I generally do is I'll do as many Grimgoth bits as I have room for. And then I'll upload one every day. So I'm going to get out of here and when Adrastia goes live with some of her begathon, if I've got devices charged, I might too. Well, we got a kitty here. You come in, Taylor Autumn? We ain't had no kitty during this live. All the kitties are outside. It's beautiful today. There we go. We got a kitty before we go. It's Autumn. It's Summer's baby. Says, I'm Summer's first baby. You was too. You was your first one out. Yes, you was. You was first one out. You Summer's baby. Oh, honey. There you go. She likes pets, but she's not really a lap, She'll sit over here and, get petted all day. This is how she likes her love. She don't crawl up on me like some of the others do. She wants to do this. So I'm going to give my kitty love, and I may see some people in chats later, because as I make the bits, I basically will be watching YouTube, popping in and out and shooting a video and, refining it all. And I'll be doing that all night. So everyone, thank you for coming and have a good evening.